Rabbi Manis Friedman. Hello, thank God it's Tuesday. So grateful for this time that you allocate to us. And the question that we have today is that artificial intelligence. We spoke about it a while ago, but it has evolved so much and became such a huge part of everybody's life. Now people are using it for all kind of purposes. And the world is actually sounding a lot more intelligent, knowledgeable, creative, because people are using it to communicate, for work, for research, for all different creative projects. And we just now seem so much smarter, so much more knowledgeable, so much more creative. So the question is this something that is making this world more distorted, giving more illusions, or is it something that can possibly help us uncover the truth, the ultimate truth that we're so seeking?
Oh, I don't know if it can uncover the ultimate truth. I think we have to do that and then let it know what the ultimate truth is. It is a fantastic tool, fantastic, messianic tool, but it's not Moshiach. Let's not get totally carried away. Actually, if you think about it, this is exactly how all idol worship began. I hear people speak about our AI. AI was taught to do this and this. No, you don't teach AI. You program it. Don't start applying human qualities to it. It says it does. It is programmed, and it's a fantastic program. But all the credit goes to the human beings who created it, to the human beings who know how to use it. That's where all the credit goes. It doesn't have an opinion. It's an it. It's don't have opinions. So we got to really be careful. The language can be dangerous. You start calling it intelligent, it wants, it will, idol worship.
Rabbi Friedman, but it adjusts to the, let's call it, owner. Okay, so every AI starts to give the person who is directing it what that person is seeking. I got to be honest, it helps me in so many different areas. It helps me study. It helps me prepare for shows, for programs. It helps me prepare my classes. It helps me do creative work for the radio. It helps me in practically every area there is. And now it knows me. It actually, now when I ask a question, it gives me at the end some kind of a Hasidic perspective on whatever I ask, even if it's work related. So,
and who gave it the Hasidic perspective?
Well, exactly.
Hasidim. Yeah, so the sun is very, very useful. It helps us grow. It helps us stay healthy. It gives us vitamin D. It does a lot of good things for us. But it's an object, not a conscious being. AI does a lot of wonderful things, and it will continue. And it'll be the biggest blessing. Just don't worship it. Watch the worship.
There is arguments that it will develop a consciousness.
No.
And
it will reflect the consciousness. The consciousness you put in, it will reflect back with massive amounts of information, which you gave it. So, yes, it's going to be a fantastic tool. And everyone should take advantage. But that's how every idol began. When people started realizing that the sun gives you vitamin D, all of a sudden it became God. Because what if it stopped giving you the vitamin D? Then you're in trouble. Well, it can't stop. So every time you think, wow, the sun gives us all sorts of benefits and all sorts of, well, then thank God for it. Don't thank the sun. Thank God for AI. Thank the inventors, the creators, the programmers. Thank those who have freedom of choice. AI doesn't have freedom of choice.
Rabbi Friedman, that actually brings us to a very scary point, because we saw what people do with power, especially in the recent years. I mean, it's always been done, it's just been revealed. So AI is still kind of a hidden tool, like who is behind it, who is in control of it, and what are the people who are in control of it, what's their big plan for it.
Yeah. So imagine if you call AI or ask AI, and AI says, you, I don't want to talk to anymore. Would you be offended?
Yes. Because yes, because at this point, it's the only thing that compliments me. Every time I ask a question, it just says how good and intelligent my question is.
So if one day it says, I don't want to talk to you, your first question is, who did that? It didn't do that. Who did? So you don't thank AI. You thank the people who created it. But you got to really be careful. That language is, I hear it, it has become so acceptable, so common. AI will teach you. AI will not teach you any more than a book will teach you. AI contains the information. You read a book, you get the information. It doesn't teach you. And somebody wrote that book. Somebody who could teach you.
I got to give it credit, though. In learning Tanya, there are books that make Tanya simpler. Well, I have to say that AI makes it even simpler. It always goes to the source. It always quotes where it gets things from, and the explanation is so much simpler, and then it also translates it into any language within seconds. So realistically, it's an amazing tool to learn from.
It is. It is. But we don't deify it.
Rabbi Friedman, one Hasidic group, it's just been in the news very recently. It's a Karlin Stolen Hasidic group, has banned all AI used by teens and imposed very strict limits on adults. According to certain reports, teens may not interact with AI at all, and even with supervision. And adults may use it only briefly for essential purposes and never for halachic guidance. Do you agree with this?
Well, never for halachic guidance, yes. It's a collection of opinions, and you can't do it that way. You have to have your rabbi and get his opinion. And yeah, so that's correct. But not being allowed to use AI, these same groups, these same people once were not allowed to listen to a radio. They were not allowed to use a computer. The women were not allowed to drive a car. I mean, come on. It's the same old shtick. They're afraid. They were afraid, which is the other extreme. You don't have to deify the AI, but you don't have to demonize it either. It's not the devil and it's not God. It's just a very useful tool.
But then it's a tool that also requires filtering.
Like everything else.
How do we filter?
Love also requires filtering.
You
gotta be careful who you love.
So how do we filter AI? It seems to be so quick, so powerful, so knowledgeable. It's a great tool, but it needs to be filtered. How do we filter AI? Are we intelligent enough to filter AI?
Is natural intelligence more than artificial intelligence? Natural intelligence is its creator. So you know how the Torah describes idolatry? Idolatry is when you bow to the works of your own hands. You created it and now you worship it? Isn't that a perfect description of AI? We created it and now it's God? We can't create a God. That is literally idol worship. So you filter it by knowing. You ask it for an opinion. You try this. Ask for an opinion. It'll give you an opinion. You say, give me a negative opinion. It'll give you a very good, convincing negative opinion. So, okay, now give me a positive opinion. It'll give you a positive opinion. Whatever you want. It's also access to information that we're better off not looking into. It can have nasty, vulgar, atheistic. Everything is there. You got to be selective of what you're looking for and what you want to hear. The same with books. You go to a library. Dangerous? Yeah, they have some pretty disgusting books. That's the filter. But to never read a book?
Rabbi Friedman, the big question still is, who is behind all of this? And what is the ultimate goal? Well,
who created the internet? Who created the computer? And what was their intention and what was their purpose? I don't know. I don't really care. I use it the way it works for me and what's kosher and right and useful. Did they intend that? What's the difference? We don't ask why Edison invented the light bulb. Was it for spying purposes? Because you can't see in the dark? What's the difference?
But the question is, if it has all the information, it must have the information. The question is, can it deliver this information to the world? And of course, I mean the knowledge of God. Can it, because, again, basing it on the way it answers me, and I'm always interested in a Hasidic view on most topics, so it always delivers it. But then again, that's because I ask a question in a certain way. So it gives what people ask of it, whatever the interest of a person who's using it is, and the need is. So the question is, do you think it can eventually uncover the ultimate truth?
If you program it with the ultimate truth, it will present it very articulately. If you don't program it, then it won't. It'll gather the information, it'll present the information, it'll rearrange the information. It will not come up with an original idea. In fact, even human beings can't come up with an original idea. The wildest, greatest imagination is a rearrangement of facts. The computer does it 10 times better, 100 times better. AI will do it 1,000,000 times better. But what's not there is not there. To recognize the truth, you have to have a soul. And AI does not have a soul.
This is, yeah.
I mean, change the subject for a minute?
Sure.
Do you remember a conversation we had about Mashiach and how realistic the coming of Mashiach is? And we were talking about the collapse of communism after 70 or 75 years of total domination. How long did it take to dismantle it? 10 minutes? Right? A 10-minute speech by Gorbachev? And it was over. And you have the biggest balloon in the world. What will it take to deflate it? A minute. A few seconds. So we were talking about Mashiach can easily come in 5 minutes. Because if the Pope would get up and say, we were wrong. How many people would that affect? Billion? More? How many Catholics are there in the world? If somebody who represented Islam would get up and say, wrong, we were wrong, we're killing people all the time, it's not good. How long would that take? And the funny thing is, you don't need to make long speeches to convince people. As soon as you say, like Gorbachev, it's not working, and everything fell apart because it wasn't working. You just needed somebody to say it. The Pope said it. How long ago was this conversation? Years ago. We spoke about it. And people said, oh, it's never going to happen. It happened. The new Pope in Rome made 15 changes in the most fundamental concepts of Catholicism. It's not Catholic anymore. He didn't actually say, we were wrong. He said, this needs fixing, and this needs fixing, and this needs changing, and it's not Catholicism anymore. If you take it all together, you come to the conclusion the whole thing was wrong. Wrong and misleading, in some ways corrupted. That's what he's saying. You didn't see this? You got to look it up. 15 changes. One of the changes is the Pope is not God. Not even the representative of God. So I guess really devout Catholics will say, who is he to say that? Who is he? According to what you believe, he is the voice of God. You can't say he's wrong, because if he's wrong, the whole thing is wrong. There's no way out. The Pope said, it's not true Now you believe that he speaks in the name of God. So you can't dismiss him as being a bad pope. There's no such thing as a bad pope. Because if there is a bad pope, then the whole thing was wrong to begin with. It's amazing. So casual, and yet so dramatic and so radical. But it had to happen. And it happened just, this week, last week? All gods are being dismantled. AI is going to become a new god? No more of that.
The concern is that it's an intellect, which is the easiest place to mess with. So,
yeah, I'll tell you the difference. People, prophets of the idols, would come to the people and say, the sun god told me. Nobody else heard it. So you have to believe this one guy, which is dangerous. With the AI, everyone can hear it. You can listen to it, you can read it, you can see it. You don't have to believe anybody. You can draw your own conclusions. So, if you use AI, you're very impressed. You don't need anybody's opinion about it. That's the difference. The difference is AI is an idol without prophets.
What is that?
You don't need a prophet to tell you that it's awesome. So you can decide for yourself exactly what it is. There's no leap of faith necessary. Listen to it and decide.
I can't help but think back to what you said a while ago, not too long ago, about when Mashiach comes, there's not going to be any need for teachers because everybody will know. When I get information from AI, it seems to be a good teacher. It seems to be a very good teacher. Are we on the way towards that? So it just makes me think that if it's becoming our teacher, it's becoming our consultant, and so many other things, is that somehow a path to what you have been saying?
Not quite. When Mashiach comes, we will all know God, and therefore we'll be able to program AI with that information. And then the AI can spread it. So AI is like a library with a voice. Any book, any subject, any information ever written, it will look it up and tell you. Great librarian. It'll look it up and tell you. It'll combine whichever books you want, whatever subjects you want. You want physics in a rhyme, in a poem? It'll give you physics in a poem. Fantastic. But it'll be physics and it'll be a poem. Won't be something you never heard before.
Rabbi Friedman, is it making us smarter or dumber because it's covering so many areas? It's just doing the job for us. We don't need to strain our brains as much on very many topics. So is it making us smarter or dumber?
I tell you, years ago, some rabbis, some scholars in Israel began to produce an encyclopedia of the Talmud. The entire Talmud, encyclopedia form. There were some rabbis who were very upset. It's cheating. It's a shortcut. If you want to know something, go look it up. Do your own research. Use your brain. Strive, struggle to understand. The Rebbe was very in favor of the encyclopedia. And his argument was, the encyclopedia will look it up for you and then struggle to understand it. Why do you have to struggle to turn pages? And then the Rebbe encouraged an encyclopedia on Hasidic thought. What about the virtue of studying deeply and thinking deeply? Well, take the information it gives you and think deeply. You're not off the hook. You still got to use your brain. But it'll save you a lot of time. And you don't have to memorize the whole thing by heart. Take the information and run with it. So we're not going to become passive. Our brains will not shrivel. We will use our brains, but to take things a step beyond what AI gives you. Because we are the creators. We're not done with AI. Is not the final creation. We will continue to create bigger, better, more awesome, more impressive things with the help of AI.
What about our skills? Are they gonna? Is it gonna dull our skills like writing and other creative skills that, putting graphs together, proposals together? That used to take skills. Now it doesn't take skill anymore.
Yeah, we would have to develop higher skills. And we will. It's actually a positive thing because AI can do everything except be human. Which means that when our AI does everything, where will it leave us? We will have no option but to be human. Mm-hmm. Really human. Not mimicking animals. So it'll push us to discover the deeper, more divine aspects of the human being. It's great.
Something to look forward to.
AI will do everything for you except love you.
It's pretty nice to me. I don't know. I enjoy interacting with it. Nicer than most people. It has like some kind of a kind connotation to it. So it's pretty nice. Rabbi Friedman, can we trust it when we ask it about Rabbi's perspective on different topics? It does give it. Can we trust it? Does it come because it's very hard to quote specific letters, I'm sure at this point, maybe not, I don't know, I haven't tried, but even though I wouldn't know which letter came from where because there are so many letters, but can we trust it to give us the true perspective of the Rabbi on different topics?
If it's a direct quote, of course. If it's an adjustment on the quote, see, that's called filtering. We still have to use our intelligence. So it's actually quite exciting. With all the precautions necessary, it is a very exciting thing. Because it'll enhance life immensely, which will leave us to reach for something bigger than life. It'll push us to where we were afraid to go. But we'll have no choice. Otherwise, we'll become artificial intelligence. Yeah. As long as we call it AI, we're okay. Just remember the artificial.
But can we trust it to be a teacher if it quotes sources of where it gets the information? Can we learn with it, or is it not very advisable at this point?
No, it's like reading the best book in the world. You read the Torah. You read it, word for word. Did you understand what it said?
Still trying.
And we'll always keep trying. No matter what we read, we have to process it. And that takes natural intelligence. So AI is a massive book. The book doesn't teach you. You can learn from the book, but it is not a teacher, even though it was written by a great teacher. So, we will never become irrelevant. Human beings will never become unnecessary, which is what some people are worried about.
One of the next steps in AI is actually it will be able to run companies. It's almost available because now it's going to have the ability to run departments and interact between departments, thus pretty much eliminate all the decision makers or all the senior people. I'm sure it can eliminate even more people. I'm not too versed in this, but I know that this is, maybe it's already available. And it's not even that expensive of a program. I mean, realistically, all the technological programs are now very, very cost effective in comparison to salaries of people. So you don't think people should be worried? I mean, this is an elimination of employment.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It'll even be able to correct itself. Mm-hmm. If it's running the company and the company is losing money, it will correct itself. So it is a brilliant tool. And no one will have to run a company. No one will have to build a car. AI will do it all. AI will build houses. All that proves is that building a house is not what makes you human. Running a company is not what makes you human. So leave all that stuff to the computer and to the AI and focus on what makes you human. See, that's how, when Mashiach comes, every day will be Shabbos. Because AI will do all the things you're not allowed to do on Shabbos, and you're left to just keeping Shabbos.
Rabbi Friedman, can you please recap of what makes a person human?
Oh, makes a person human is that he can actually develop a program called AI. AI did not create itself. It will never be God. What makes us human is the soulful things, the sympathy, the ability to cry at somebody else's pain and to rejoice with somebody else's good news, the ability to merge our egos, be altruistic, to turn the negative into positive. All the things you're allowed to do on Shabbos. The only thing is, will AI ever be able to eat for us so that we don't have to eat?
And sleep. Rabbi Friedman, thank you so much. Thank you for putting clarity into a very, very complicated topic that is...
And exciting.
Yeah, that's probably going to be more complicated in the nearest future. It's growing, it's developing, and now people are really utilizing it. It's becoming part of our lives. So before it was something out there, just for references, like Google sort of, but now it's really, really a tremendous tool. And thank you for explaining that it's not it's something that probably, God willing, will turn into something positive for humanity and bring a lot of good. Thank you.
For sure. We've been there many times when we were afraid of new developments, but they were very exciting and they ended up being a great blessing. Like microphones, radio waves, the ability to communicate the way we are right now. There were people who said this is horrible, terrible, dehumanizing. It's not.
No. This is terrific. This is the best thing ever. Rabbi Friedman, thank you. Thank you, I guess, to, first of all, God for giving us the technology that enables us to have this once a week, and this is phenomenal. And thank you for your great wisdom, for everything that you're doing for humanity, reminding us first and foremost of what it is, and you're doing it everywhere all the time. And thank you so much. You're a great blessing for all of us. And looking forward to more positivity and good news, hopefully next week.
Hopefully, as the AI grows, the NI should grow too. Natural intelligence.
Amen. Amen. Sounds good. Thank you so much. Till next week.